must be the fridge. I've got no idea what is inside of this. I didn't open it when I was here in October, and I haven't opened it yet. I'm a little freaked out about what could be in there, I guess, judging on some of the other parts of the boat. One thing I did do the other day was make sure when the electricians are here that it actually did at least power up and work. I haven't turned it on, left it running, because I don't know what's in it. Goodness, there could be a dead animal in there, and the last thing I want to do is refrigerate that. So let's power it on. There's our switch. Fridge. See our amps kicked in. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but the motor is running. Okay, let's have a look at the freezer first. Oof, it's sticky. Ooh, goodness. Okay, so bit of a mess. Christ, look at the wires and crap. Very George's handiwork with some. What's he got up there? These are fans. 3. They look like old PC fans. Interesting, huh? There's cool air in there, and obviously a bit of a mess. Right. Okay, well at least there was nothing in there, but it's pretty grotty. Look at the top of that. Oof. Okay. Oh, what's in here? Right, that is a jar of... Oh, Jesus, I don't even want to know. Maybe that should be a competition. People should... yeah, leave a comment and let me know what you think is in the jar. Oh, some water. I've got no idea what that is. Giant balls of water. And some spreadable butter. And some black crap in here. Alright. Time to get to work. Now, for this project, thanks to my new internet, I was able to Skype my mum and dad out in Australia, and they do a lot of caravanning. I've had their fair share of dealing with dirty fridges over the time. So they advised me to make up a mixture of white vinegar and bicarbonate soda. A little bit of vanilla essence just here as well, just to add a little bit of smell. So I'll make that into a paste and then use that to clean the inside of the fridge. You can use bleach to clean the inside of a fridge, but you really want to dilute it right down because the smell is quite powerful, obviously. It also, the irony is not lost on me, the fact that there is all these cleaning products out here on possibly the world's dirtiest countertop. But as I said, it's about doing one project at a time, and I haven't even started inside this main pilot house. Okay, so I'm going to mix it up. Then I'm going to use a little bit of water. You're supposed to use warm water for this. I've had some water sat out in the sun, and believe me, it's warm enough. And we'll give the first shot over on the inside of the fridge. Okay, it's a pretty simple recipe. Literally about half a cup of bicarbonate soda. These little containers have got sort of just under a cup, so I'm just going to make up a little bit as I go. Probably start with about, well, I'm probably going to need most of it. I'm going to use about half of that. I'm going to use my artificial white vinegar. Okay, just cut the top off that. I really detest the smell of vinegar. I really can't stand it. So let's stick this in here, get a nice reaction going there with some the vinegar. smells pretty rotten. Let me make this in a small bowl, be a little bit easier. Okay, so I've made that into it's a little bit less than a toothpaste like consistency. Essence into this, because that just stinks seriously bad. A little bit of vanilla essence. Oh, that's a nice smell now. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the fridge. Jesus. Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh, that is just awful. Okay, I'm going to start with the freezer, mainly because it's a small area, and okay, I've got to put some gloves on. Rub it down. Okay. Obviously, the way that this stuff works is because bicarb soda is highly abrasive. So let's sort of just wipe it on, let it sit on there for a couple of minutes if it's on anything really heavily. Wow, you can see that just sort of really quite quickly and easily is cleaning up that crap. So as you can see, for a first pass, that's not too bad. It really wasn't that much work, didn't have to scrub too hard. That was just the first pass. So obviously bits down here I'll go for next. That I had to remove the seal around the fridge. There's a little bit of an area where it's not quite sitting in properly, so I want to pull that out and clean it. Hopefully, I think the seal's still pretty good, in pretty good condition, and I'll check the other one. If I need to order another one, I might be able to do that, but yeah, that's the first pass. I'm going to hit it with some borax, some bleach, and see if we can bring this back to new. Okay. A wet morning out here, which is nice to be honest. Drops the temperature down quite a bit. It's not raining that hard, but it's nice enough to cool the air. So this is where we're at with the fridge seals. I've stuck them in these buckets overnight with some soap, and just let them sit in there, just see if they can soften up just a little bit. So I'm just going to clean these up and then see if we can put them back in the fridge. Okay, so here's the seals. And the seals have been sat for 2 days now inside a solution now. They've just been sitting inside of a solution of bleach and what I did notice is obviously the seals do have some cracks on them around the edges of them. So I went into town, found a supplier, and hopefully we'll have a price and a cost for some new seals, because it's pretty important. Obviously, if the seals are cracked or they don't quite work, then the fridge is pretty much useless at that point. I just want to share the condition of how it came up with the cleaning. I'm pretty happy with that. This is just literally after its first clean through, and it's quite dry. I just got to go through it and give it another good clean. And what I'm going to do now is take those old seals and put them back in. And so the reason why I'm doing that right now is I'm going to put them back in just so I can turn the fridge on, see if it does actually get to temperature, cool down, and make sure it turns off, see what George's sort of cycling system here is doing, and whether that's sort of going to work before I go and invest some money in new seals. Yeah, that's a job for today. So I've had a lot of electrical work done this week, which is good to get done. I've had the boys in. Obviously, one of the things I was really keen on doing was actually tracing down all the fuses and the breaker boxes and so forth, having them replaced. And you can see in here, this is actually a fuse that was replaced. It was previously it had a ceramic household fuse in there. This bow thruster is looking pretty old and tired, but at least when we connected it up, the motor did turn over normally. I think there might be some rope or something stuck inside the bow thruster, so we're not going to try and use that, but it does work. It was all wired up, and of course a new 100 amp starter battery, which is used for both the bow thruster and one of the most important pieces of kit, the anchor windlass. We had to change out as well. The only thing we needed to change out was, in fact, here, which is a new bidirectional solenoid that needed to be changed out. So I was absolutely ecstatic that the anchor windlass works, because it's an extremely expensive piece of kit and would cost a fortune to replace. Here's the remnants actually of, you can see that big, it's quite heavy actually, big ceramic fuse that was inside. And these were two solenoids that were used for the windlass previously.
So one of the most exciting jobs to get done this week was to install the air conditioning unit. I'd had it sat there for about 2 days just to let everything settle, and during that 2 days it basically just laughed at me and mocked me for sweating. But of course it wasn't going to be as easy as just plugging it in. I had to figure out a way of connecting up the conduit to one of the portholes or the windows on the side of the boat. There was no point me trying to figure out a permanent solution for this, so I was just creating a temporary flange basically that would go between the conduit and the inside of the window, but it had to be robust enough to sort of seal the window, of course, and let everything work its magic. So after quite a bit of messing around trying to get everything installed and sealed, everything was great, and I finally had 18 degrees of coolness blowing into the cabin. Pretty quickly I went off and closed the hatches, everything I could find to cool down my aft cabin as quick as possible. Coming up in next week's episode, we lift the hatches and create a huge mess in the boat while we try to get this old engine up and running. And in the process, discover a massive problem with a key component of the engine that might stop us before we even get started. We'll see you next week.